Welcome, Star Wars fans, to our spoiler review of Episode 4, The Book of Boba Fett, The Gathering Storm. And this episode starts with an interesting backstory about Fennec Shen. And I didn't realize that she was partly robot, actually. I didn't notice that. Was that before in any of the scenes?
No, it wasn't.
I haven't seen it also yet, and I was quite shocked, I would say, after I realized that Fennec is a modded person, so she's a cyborg, so to say.
She's a cyborg, yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
And that's like, and I mean, I was kind of thinking when she woke up to this and she went like, oops, what is that? You know, she took it pretty tough. I mean, like, normally you'd go like, oh shit, you know? But then, of course, he kind of saved his life and he was pretty cool, like, yeah, that's the best I could do to live with it, I guess.
Yeah,
And that may be true. I didn't see any hospitals in Mos Espa or Mos Eisley. Were they in Mos Espa or Mos Eisley at that point?
Mos Espa.
Mhm,
Yeah, but
yeah,
it's pretty
Esper.
much it's pretty much culture of do it yourself, I guess. So
Yeah,
maybe you take it more lightly in a culture like that.
yeah, I suppose, but still, it's tough. You know, there was just. I mean, I don't know what was left of her, but I suppose. I mean, probably enough that she survived quite all right. So
Yeah, but the mother took everything out of her stomach. She has a complete cyborged belly, so
The torso,
yeah.
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of felt like, can you not just say like, just fix her and maybe do as little as possible?
Yeah, but I think those modders they really like the modding stuff because Boba said, "Don't you want to put her skin above your stomach?" And he said, "Why hide those shiny stuff?" So
Yeah. So they seem to be pretty proud of themselves,
mhm,
and they seem to like this.
mhm.
Uh, yeah,
Hey,
but
it's art. It's an art form, so why cover it?
I suppose in a certain way, but maybe, I mean, I don't know how tough she was. She probably was pretty tough before. Does this improve her skills in any form? Is there any advantage to this in
Hmm.
her performance as a fighter or something?
Well, maybe maintenance is a bit easier, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, does she have to go to the loo still, or does she?
Yeah, that's what I meant. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think we'll find out.
And she was an assassin. Interesting.
Yeah, bounty hunter,
Mhm.
just like Boba Fett. So
I'm not sure. I saw more she was like maybe like one of those assassins.
maybe both, maybe
Maybe
both.
an
So
assassin
yes,
of one of those orders. I don't
yes,
know.
right. I guess you're right. She's an assassin, but bounty hunter as well. So it doesn't exclude each other's, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, a better bounty hunter if you know how to kill professionally.
And he kind of gathers her in as an ally against Bib Fortuna. Um, and we know from the story that he's completely seemingly defeated Bib Fortuna, but not in this episode.
Yeah, so we'll learn some more details, I guess. So we just shoot him. He shot him
Yeah.
in one short moment that we
Mhm.
saw, and the rest, yeah, well, next
Yeah,
time.
I believe that scene where he shot Bib Fortuna was at the end of The Mandalorian.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was one short, I believe it's called prequel,
Okay.
where you got a little overview for the series. Then it was, I believe, at the last episode, quite at the end, even after the the credits, I believe.
Possibly, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. But the interesting thing is, I think if we look at his character development, he was ready to leave hunting behind. That's what he tells us.
Mhm.
You know, so before that, he would not have gone back to be a bounty hunter or a crime boss or anything if he could have stayed with the Tuscans.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. He had a family, and like you said, he was ready to leave everything behind. And after the Tuscans were killed, in my opinion, he got a mission now, and we hear the first time and got a first impression why he wanted to become the daimyo or a leader.
Mhm.
Yes, indeed. So he
Yeah.
tells Fennec Shand sooner or later that he needs a tribe, and he values loyalty very much, and he offers her loyalty. So I guess this is something that he got as a conclusion from his experience.
Mhm.
So as the Tuscans were all killed because they were not really powerful, although they had a good model, maybe, of living, and I guess he wants to make it better, and gain some real power and to be able to really change something by keeping what's good and what worked good with the Tuscans, and what does not worked, he wants to improve probably.
And I think it's very interesting. I mean, because we get this contrast, you know, she being in the mindset of an assassin says, living with the Tuscans made you soft. That's the actual conversation. And he says, no, it made me strong. So he understands this as an improvement. I mean, he was a pretty awesome character already. I mean, other than, you know, Luke Skywalker, he was not so easily defeated. I mean, he was, after all, the model from which that's probably not a good argument, the model from which the stormtroopers were made.
Well, they were genetically modified.
That he ever hits his target, I guess.
Well, the stormtroopers were genetically modified to be more to obey, and maybe this was a very bad idea, not only on the intellectual powers but also in shooting.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
But actually, I think the stormtroopers that the clones were actually more efficient than the latest stormtroopers who never hit a target. You know the saying, you know, if Star Wars meets Star Trek, you know, and the stormtroopers fire on the red shirts, you know, the stormtroopers miss every time, the red shirt dies anyway.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, anyway, so yeah, he believes it made him strong, and he also says you can only get so far without a tribe.
Mhm.
So that implies he wants to get somewhere.
So this explains why he makes friends with so many people and joins them to his group.
And we got the Wookiee in the team.
Yes.
Yay!
Not yet, I guess, but soon.
Sort of. I mean, he's already hired him. He didn't yet do anything for him, but he's hired him. And the Wookiee is like in a bad mood.
Yes, he asks. Yes, he's in a very bad mood.
Yeah.
And I think he won't say no. So we had that scene where Boba asked him, he killed or almost killed those.
He just ripped an arm off.
Yeah.
I didn't know why he was out.
I wanted to ask that same question. I have no idea.
So he was just in a bad mood. He didn't have anything to do with us. He just looked over to those guys, just didn't like them, or it didn't have anything to do with the gamble. I mean, they were gambling, but he wasn't involved. So I don't know. Or did he want their money? I don't know.
It was a Trandoshan family members who are the rulers of some of the area there, and I guess he was just drunk, had no task to do, and was in a very bad mood.
I think, yeah. And he wanted to rip an arm off, despite the fact that he would have made a better deal without it.
Yeah, the Twi'lek lady really calmed him down a bit, so I guess that was probably the best she could achieve with him.
But not so much. I mean, really, she tried.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, do I want, you know, all my debt erased? No, I'd rather rip an arm off.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, that's what happened.
it's not
So,
easy being on this planet.
It's
yeah, but I think
But
uh,
let's. Yeah, sorry.
no,
uh,
you just said it's not easy being on this planet,
mhm.
Yeah.
but I think being on Tatooine wouldn't be a picnic either.
Yeah, it's a very rough planet with a lot
Yeah,
of tough guys.
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
I'd like to go a bit further because he gets back his ship, his fire spray gunship.
Yay, the
yeah,
Razor Crest. No, it's not the
they
Razor
ambushed.
Crest.
Sorry.
Sorry, I was thinking. I thought it's the Razor Crest, but the Razor Crest was from Mandalorian, I believe.
You're sure you watched the right episode, are you?
I'm not sure.
Okay, doesn't matter. So basically, they ambushed this palace that used to be Jabba the Hutt's, is now Bib Fortuna's. And first of all, they get to this computer room with the crazy cooking computer who attacks them with.
It was impressive, wasn't it? With all these arms and all these
It
knives.
kind of reminded me to what was the dude from the Clone Wars called General Grievous.
Mm-hmm.
It looked a little bit like General Grievous, but
Yeah.
it was impressive in a way. But then also he wasn't facing off with a Jedi.
Well, then again, as a kitchen aid, I would say, yeah, where it comes in very handy.
Pretty effective, yeah. But here's the thing that I wondered, Fennec killed the robot by cutting off his head. And I wonder, I mean, it's a robot, or a droid in Star Wars terminology, is actually like his main computer in the head. Is that it? Because would that actually kill him? Would that actually destroy him? With his mini laser sword or whatever it was, like toy laser sword, or I don't know.
Good question. But I like the other one, the other droid who met with Boba Fett. It shut itself off.
Yeah, it was quite funny.
Or whatever it was. Yeah. Oh, goodbye. I'm just going to sleep. And they were like, okay, whatever.
There are some comic elements in each episode.
Yeah, actually, that was well done. I really like that.
Yes.
So eventually they succeed, and
and then he kills quite a bunch of Kintan Striders. So
yeah, he's just this is just like a bad video game. Like bam, 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 bam. They have no chance.
Yes. Well, the Tuscans had no chance either. So I still remember.
We don't know how the fight with the Tuscans went. We just know they lost it.
Yes. Fennec Shand was skeptical. She said it's very unlikely that the Tuscan Raiders lose against these Striders. So
that's a good point, because I wonder, like, maybe the situation is different than we imagine it to be.
Maybe.
Maybe there's a bit of an additional story, because as you said, as you assumed, they were easily killed off, but then they are, I don't know how dangerous they are, to be honest. In the previous Star Wars stories, they were mostly portrayed as victims, really. They were a little bit dangerous in the episode 4, but really, I mean, Obi-Wan scared them off, but he said like, yeah, let's probably go and not risk anything. And then in, I believe, episode 3, Anakin pretty much cuts them into pieces, but then that's probably a different level. So I don't really know how objectively dangerous are they compared to other dudes running around. But according to Fennec, that was a bit too easy. So maybe there's something else going on, and makes me wonder if Boba Fett has actually killed off the right gang.
Yeah, the only clue we got was that symbol on the wall, but it could be, some type of. We could be misled in some way.
We could be misled, or maybe there's some other. The gang is bigger, or there's somebody else, another, like, I don't know, somebody who controls them. I don't think we're gonna have Jedi or Sith here, but there are some other reasonably powerful players. We do not know who else might be involved.
Yeah, maybe we'll find out.
Maybe we will.
I hope we will.
So, what we did find out is that the Sarlacc still lives, and that you should not even in a spaceship get too close.
Oh yes, but then again, I have two questions on this.
I
First
also.
question, yeah, okay. So first question is, why on earth does he seek his armor in the mouth of the Sarlacc? Because he escaped from the Sarlacc in his armor. So
Yeah, I have an
what's
answer to
that?
this. I have an answer to this that may work. It's,
He
I
may
see your
have-
point. Actually, he should go and hunt the Javas.
Yes.
But I mean, he was in a really bad shape. So
Maybe he does not remember.
he does not necessarily remember the details. You know, he went in with his armor, and then he remembers he was left somewhere, found by the Tuscans without his armor, and he maybe really doesn't know what happened in between.
Yes, could be.
So, and that's probably why the Java still exists.
And Christian, what question do you have?
Yeah, I was wondering about the same, because he escaped at the beginning of the series with his flamethrower, and then he lost his, I'm not sure what the English word for it is, he lost his consciousness, and then
the
he,
Javas came and
yes,
basically stole all his stuff.
but he lost his consciousness with his armor, so this could be a possibility that he just had forgot it.
Yeah, or maybe he was never at a state to really remember any details. I mean, he was in a really bad state. Even that. The other thing is, I noticed, I mean, he was always scared, full of scars and everything, but now he seems to be completely healed. I mean, there's no scars, you know, in The Mandalorian and in every episode that I remember, at least so far. There were still the after effects of the acids in the Sarlacc's whatever stomach. I don't know. Is it stomach? Is it a mouth? I don't know. But not anymore.
In this episode, it was said that he was completely healed in the tank.
Yeah, and at the same time, we finally know where his wounds came from. It was from the Sarlacc, not in his armor, but while he was searching for his armor in the Sarlacc.
But there I have another question.
I think he had them before, and I think they came partly from the Sarlacc before. I mean, in the earlier scenes, he also had
both.
Okay, yeah, because Fennec said before your armor protected you from the acid of the Sarlacc.
Yeah, I think, but not necessarily completely.
Yeah, okay.
That's how I understood it.
Yeah.
You know, like there was still something coming through, but it could have been worse, you know. So that's my understanding. And then maybe they were not through his whole body. I don't know to what extent. We should probably check back to earlier scenes to see that.
Yes, but I have another question to that. Why on earth do they fly with their ship into the Sarlacc when Fennec Shand has this spy drone, and they could have used this to fly there and search for the armor?
I have an answer.
I think it's a plot mistake here. They could have taken a little more distance here, or maybe it's not that easy to see things with that. But yes, it was a little risky, and she said, "Oh, be careful," but no.
Yeah, well,
it's all because of drama.
Maybe the other question would have, could they just, you know, kill the Sarlacc before and then searched it? You know?
Yeah.
Who knows?
No, they just didn't kill it. They ripped it in thousands of pieces with the what's called this seismic bomb.
Yeah, definitely. So that's interesting as well. And now he's completely healed. He's hired the Wookiee at the end of the story, and this is other interesting statement that he made. Power hates a vacuum. So he needs to be seen before he actually meets the Wookiee. So I think there are quite a few thoughts, as I said earlier, about leadership, and I think it would be valuable to make a video about leadership in Boba Fett. But I think we can still wait a couple of episodes because I'm sure we learn a little more about his style.
Oh yeah.
Like maybe at the end of the season.
Regarding leadership, there was this nice scene when he invited all the other leaders, or whatever they were, rulers of Mos Espa, and he had them on a table for dinner or something, and he asked them for cooperation, or at least for not doing anything against him. And in the middle of this, there was his baby Rancor, who was moving, and its claws came up, and they all
good timing. So
and
did they
it was a
set
good
this up
timing.
beforehand?
Yes, that was a good timing. And so they realized they were sitting on this thing where it could go downwards. And this what's it called?
Yeah.
What's
Rancor
it
pit?
called? A trap door thing.
Yeah.
So and then it was quite funny. He says, "Oh, it's hungry." He feeds it, and the others go, "Oops."
Yeah.
That was impressive.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess he made some impressions on these guys, and they at least agreed to not hinder him and not stop him when he fights the Pike. So
yeah,
whatever that's worth.
So we'll see how that situation turns out. So I'm curious about that as well. How will he handle the other crime lords?
Yes, it's a bit of a King Arthur situation, isn't it? So he tries to
Yeah,
unite
no, really.
them.
I mean, I honestly like the round table with much better company.
Round table is something different, but he tries to unite them. So unlike as King Arthur, this will be it's a different situation. Will turn out differently, of course, but this is part of his leadership as well, to try to unite these people.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he makes of it. Well, it's fun. So I like it that in every episode there are one or two funny moments. I hope they are intended at least.
Yeah. So I think we covered this episode pretty thoroughly. Any other thoughts, or any thoughts for what you're curious for?
I'm very curious how the fight with the pikes will come out, and I'm very curious if I don't remember the name of the Wookiee. If the Wookiee joins Boba's gang, and yeah, I hope he will.
Yeah. I still like the way how he wins Fennec Shand over to him, and so I'm curious on how this develops. So how will this end? Will they be more like partners in the end, or will still Boba be the boss? So how this will turn out, and how if they will.
Will they be lovers, and is she still fully functional?
if they stay together, or if they go their own ways. So this is what I'm curious about.
I think they're probably a team by that point.
Yeah.
They're probably family. So what I'm looking forward is many more interesting leadership moments.
Yes.
Where this theme is continued, and I'm sure it will be. So what did our viewers enjoy? What did we miss? And what are you looking forward to? Thank you for watching, and looking forward to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.